It's Magnolia season in Washington, D.C. Join me on a walk around 3 awesome places to see them: Smithsonian Castle, the Moongate Garden, and the George Mason Memorial. Although D.C. is more famous for the cherry blossoms, the magnolias bloom first, and they are a great precursor to what's to come next. So join me on this walk. It's going to be amazing. So let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am here at the George Mason Memorial in Washington, D.C. and there is George Mason himself back there. We will take a closer look in a minute. But the reason I am here right now is not to talk about George Mason himself. That'll be for another video. But this is one of the best places to see the magnolia trees in bloom. So I was just at the Smithsonian Gardens on the National Mall, which is considered the very best place for the magnolias, and I shot some video there, so go check them out. But this is considered maybe the second best place, or at least one of the best places. So we'll start out taking a quick look at George Mason. Again, I'm not going to talk about him much because I want to make a separate video about this memorial itself. But I will just say that he was one of our founding fathers, one of the lesser known founding fathers. However, that being said, one of the main universities in this area is called George Mason University, and it's not far from here, over in Virginia. So there he is, just chillaxing on a bench here, and he's got his walking stick. He's got his tri-cornered hat. He's got some books. Not a lot of place for other people to sit. He's got his coat all splayed out like that. He wasn't really thinking of others to sit down on this bench when he sat down there like that and spread all his stuff out. But here's a little girl finding some space. She'll be able to get on there. But yeah, again, the reason we're here is to check out the magnolia trees. And walking up here, I was a little perplexed because, to be honest, I am not an expert on these kinds of things about plants and flowers and this kind of stuff. And I noticed that some of the magnolia trees, such as this one right in front of us, are just starting to bloom. So let's take a closer look here. See, they are just beginning to bloom. They're still all closed up. They look all right like this, but of course they're much better when they've opened up. So some are like this, and here is the very next tree right next to it. You think that all these factors are the same in terms of the amount of sunlight they get or how much water they get. I mean, they're right next to each other in the same place. One is not completely blocking out the other, but yet this is almost in full bloom and it's right next to it. And it seems to be like this the whole way around, tree by tree. Each tree is a little bit different. So now we've got this next one, and it's kind of partly in between those two trees. So this one, it's more in bloom than that first tree, but not quite like the second tree. So again, I don't know. This is not my area of expertise, but it's all beautiful nonetheless. And this tree is in full bloom. This tree is looking great. Yeah, this tree is definitely doing real well. Let's get it all in the frame here. Looks amazing. And there's a dude getting a photo op, climbing partially up the tree. That's going to be a great shot. And then coming around, I'm going to do something I'm really not supposed to do, and that's sneak through this middle part here. Just don't tell anyone I did it. Yeah, and this looks great. I don't know what these flowers are called either, but here they are. They look beautiful. And this magnolia tree is in full bloom. It is looking incredible. And then this one's not. This one is like that first tree we saw. They're just starting. They haven't even started to open up yet. They just exist on the leaves. And here's an actual cherry blossom tree, and these cherry blossoms have already bloomed. It is not peak period yet for the cherry blossoms. It's still maybe at minimum a few days away, although they are definitely starting to come in. There are a lot of people over around the tidal basin checking out the cherry blossoms, which is the best place to be for the cherry blossoms, but it's still not there yet. It's not there's still a lot that hasn't blossomed yet, so I'm gonna hold off on making that video at least for a few more days. And again, here side by side, they are occupying the same space. These are fully bloomed, and then right next to it, they haven't even opened at all yet. And you have to think that they're getting the same amount of sunlight, same amount of water, temperature is the same, like everything is the same, but one is and one's not. Again, it's not my area of expertise. It's kind of nice to know that there's this mystery about it. It's just mysterious, and that's what makes it really cool, I guess. Now, just a quick peek across the street. That domed white structure over there, that is the Jefferson Memorial. So Thomas Jefferson, definitely one of our most famous founding fathers. Right across the street from George Mason, who I think if you stop people on the street and ask them who was George Mason, you'd get all kinds of crazy answers, because he's just a name you don't connect with so much. It's not like Thomas Jefferson. But anyway, they are here right across the street from each other. And this whole thing about the just not knowing what's going on with what exactly is happening with these flowers, it reminds me of when I used to live in South Korea and I started a new job. I used to teach English over there. I started a brand new job at a high school. And the principal walked me around the high school's campus, which had all these trees and flowers. And he was asking me, how do you say this flower in English? And I was just like, I don't know. He's like, oh, okay. How do you say this plant in English? And, yeah, I'm not really sure. And this is like my first day on the job. And I'm their new English teacher, and I don't know what these things are called in my own language. So that was a fun moment, but it all worked out. It turned out to be a great place to work, and we all got along great. But I'm definitely not the flower guy. But they are beautiful to look at, that's for sure. Alright, so this wraps up the magnolias and cherry blossoms, both blooming and not blooming yet. Across from the Jefferson Memorial, and there's the Washington Monument right in between those two very regular trees. Good old Washington Monument. And I will go ahead and end this video here at this cherry blossom tree, which is doing pretty well. And yeah, so go ahead, like and subscribe. This channel is still very new, so every little bit helps. And we will see you in the next video. Take care, guys.